It's been a very long time since we've seen each other, huh? I know that's right. I've been a little busy taking care of some much needed things. Either way, I'm stopping by very quickly today because, of course, if you do not know, an energy portal just closed yesterday. And there is another one coming up, which of course I would say that for a whole nother video. The whole purpose of this video, of course, is to talk about the Mandela effect and how brainwashing has affected us for thousands of years. And of course, how the Mandela effect is just an example of how we're coming out of our slumber. Unfortunately, there's still people that are still in that slumber, still in that deep sleep, still have not spiritually awakened with all the information that's out there, even going into knowledge of self. They rather settle for relationships, and you could do your own research on that. They rather settle for relationships, be the second best, be the side, be the broken one, the one that's sitting here stressing all night, thinking about how things are going to work out, while the other partner or the other end of the relationship is having all the fun they want to have. And so, the way people are so distraught. So, of course, they're seeking person, places, and things to fill that void. And in the process of filling that void, sometimes they lose themselves. In fact, I would say all the time they lose themselves. So either way, an example of what happened on January the 7th, which was the last time I was on YouTube. And of course, we'll go deep into that another time, maybe when I go live. I don't know. But January the 7th showed an example of how brainwashing occur. And of course, I'm going to give you some example, or I'm going to give you one main example of the Mandela effect. And as I said, of how brainwashing is a real technique and how people are falling for it. Okay. So going into brainwashing is also known as mind control, menticide, of course, that's killing of the brain. Menti means brain in Latin. Coercive persuasion, thought control, thought reform, and re-education. And they don't have to do this to where you're conscious of it. They could do it unconsciously. Another reason why I'm not into tabloids, another reason why I'm not into the news, another reason I'm not into, people who are always gossiping about celebrity lifestyles and all that good stuff, because all that is a part of mind control. And you're going to surely see, um, like I said, in this short video. So, brainwashing is the concept that the human mind can be altered or controlled by certain psychological techniques. Brainwashing is said to reduce its subject's ability to think critically or independently, to allow the introduction of new unwanted thoughts and ideas into their minds, as well as change their attitudes, values, and beliefs. So I've actually had conversations with people that have swore up and down that they know themselves, they love themselves, can nobody tell them anything about themselves, but their actions and or the situations, like the relationships they choose to settle with, shows the complete opposite of that. Even going into how some people don't even know other people, and this is no shade to anyone, but some people don't even know other people, and they will actually become obsessive about what this person is doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it wrong, they should be doing it this way, not that way, instead of working on themselves and focus on themselves. And in my opinion, that's another form of brainwashing, mind control. You have thoughts, ideas, and values about yourself that it's not even you. And that's why I say it's so important to know thyself. Going into spirituality, investing your spirituality every single day. If you are a spiritual practitioner, if you're claiming to be a spiritualist, every single day you should be practicing spirituality. It's not once in a blue moon. It's not once a year. It's not once 6 months. It's not only when you need something. Every single day you should be doing something spiritual. So, a good example of mind control or mind altering is a lot of people. Um, no, let's go into the Mandela effect first. So, the Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is how brainwashing, mind control, or re education work. It says the Mandela effect refers to a situation which a large mass of people believe that an event occurred when it did not. Looking at the origins of the Mandela effect, some famous examples as well as some potentially explanations for these strange confluences or confluence of perceptions can help to shed light on this unique phenomenon. So this is not a unique phenomenon. This is just the idea or the fact is that brainwashing is not as effective as it used to be. So, of course, they instill fear first. You know, when there's some type of re education, some type of reprogramming, some type of brainwashing, they have to first instill fear with you. Fear lets down your defense system. Fear shut down your conscious, your ability to critically think. Going into brainwashing, they have to take that away from you, and then they start re-educating you on things. Now I won't go too far into other things, like I said, I want to keep this on a Mandela effect and just an example how brainwashing works. So going into the Edmund Mann situation, as you can see here, I pulled up some resources here, including Reddit. But it says when those of certain age think of publisher clearinghouse, they tend to remember TV ads featuring Ed McMahon knocking on doors while holding a big check. McMahon never left the studio to ambush families and he never held a giant check. Now, I want to know if this is because Everman never worked for PCH, he never delivered their checks, appeared in ads, or otherwise associated with them. So there is another publishing house that that Everman did work for. There you go, American Family Publishers, which is very different from the check thing. But there is a movie that I was watching just recently, and in fact, I have a pause now. The movie is actually called Low Down Dirty Shane. Now, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but my grandma loved to watch a lot of TV shows. My nana was into all the Prices Right, As the World Turns, Guiding Light, etc., etc. So we never missed any commercials, any TV shows. Cops, America Most Wanted. My grandma loved these things. And I do remember, and I have a very good memory. I can go back to me 18 months old. I do remember Ed McMahon giving out checks. I do remember that. He was supposed to be the celebrity spokesperson for this publishing house. And it was only for a few years. I want to say the early 90s, when like 1996, 1997, 1998 came around. And like I said, go back to me 18 months. Okay. So when like 98, 99 came around, 96, 97, 98, 99, you start seeing him less and you start seeing just the regular people for publishing clearinghouse present the checks. But I saw Ed McMahon. Okay. And I remember asking my grandma, who the hell was he? And she's like, well, you know, explaining to him. So this movie, A Low Down Dirty Shame, came out in 1994. And of course, it stars Jada Pickett Smith, and at that time she was just Jada Pickett, and then of course Keenan Ivory Wayans. And I love this movie. You could definitely do your research on this movie. But I want to say around 28 minutes, and I got it here ready to go. I want to say around 28 minutes, between 28 and 30 minutes. Shane knocks on the door because he just got his ass whooped. And listen to what they say right here.
Knocking on my door like that. The hell is it any goddamn way this time of night? Better be Ed McMahon with a lot of money or it's on.
So there you go. So in 1994, this movie clearly has not been edited. Jada Pickett says that it better be Ed McMahon with a lot of money knocking at this door. It's gonna be on. And like I said, you can go watch this movie yourself. You can see that. You can hear that passage. When it's in a movie, okay, when it is a production company, a director, a producer, putting this in the movie. You think they're going to put this in the movie without verifying if that information is real or not? And during that time, nobody wasn't fighting about whether or not Ed McMahon was in Clear and Publishing House or not. Nobody wasn't fighting about that around that time. So this movie would have came out in like the 2011, 2013. I would say like 20, because the Mandela Effect was really, really popular around what, 2015, 2016. Of course, a lot of people are having these effects around 2020 or 2012, excuse me. So it's like This just shows how brainwashing really works. And this could be on both sides. I'm going to leave it at that. You determine, which side of the brainwashing is. Is it a good brainwash or a bad brainwash? You decide, is it a brainwash to think that that admin man actually was the one that was presenting the checks? Or is it brainwash to believe or to present that admin man was not the one that presented the checks? Because according to Google right here, it says that Edwin Man never, ever, ever presented a check with Publishers Clearinghouse because he worked for American House Publishers. And so they were competitors. And that even goes into the split realities. And of course, there's a spiritual definition behind this whole Mandela effect. But I'm going into the scientific evidence of this that is brainwashing. And as I said before, this goes into example of celebrities too. We're so caught up on Britney Spears. Nobody talked about Britney Spears for years. I'm not being funny. I'm not being, just out of the loop. I'm being real. Especially the people that are fighting right now for Britney's freedom. I talked to a lot of people. I've been talking to a lot of people since 2016, 2017. They never brought up Britney Spears. There's one person in particular that I spoke with almost every single day. They never brought up Britney. They never said anything about, oh my God, I listened to Britney Spears' album. I just bought her CD. I just bought her t shirt. Nothing about Britney Spears. Mysteriously, things pop up saying free Britney. Now all of a sudden this person has an opinion about it, and all this person's, it's just so sad that this woman is going through it. And as I mentioned before, there's a lot of people that are going through things. There's a lot of families, a lot of mothers who have had their children snatched for them. There's a lot of people who are under conservatorship. There's a lot of people that are being controlled. You have domestic violence victims out there. And so if you really cared about people being held with against their will, then you'll be out here volunteering at um, domestic violence safety houses, safe havens. And like I said, I don't even hear conversations about that. I hear more about people wanting to get laid and people getting laid and other bullshit more than I hear about people talking about wanting to save domestic violence people. And I'm not saying because I'm a victim of domestic violence. I'm saying this all together in whole. Like, so I'm not being shady. I'm not calling out one person in particular. I'm saying every single person I know that talks about free Britney and they're so focused on what celebrities are doing, they're either they're I just don't think they're a sense of they're not in touch with reality. I think there are victims of mind control. And of course, there's so many examples. And if anybody want to know, you can ask me personally. If you do think I'm a victim of mind control, I could definitely give you an examples if I do believe that you are. Because even going into, like I said, settling for relationships, whether it's friendship, whether it's business relationships, whether it's intimate relationships, settling for things that you deserve better. You know you should get better, but you're like, no, I feel safe here. I'm okay with this. This is my only means of making things happen when it's really not. And like I said, I'm not gonna sit back and watch somebody who I know have true potential of being that great person, that great whatever it is they're trying to do, and them not take advantage of it. That's another reason why I step back from people, and I'm gonna continue to do so in the whole year of 2022. Stepping back, not really being associated with people, especially if they're not ambitious, they're not setting goals and working towards those goals. I don't want to sit up on my phone on my free time gossiping about person, place, and things that do not serve me. Person, place, and things that do not benefit me. Person, place, and things that do not pay my bills, that do not contribute to Mystic Persia or Mia. That's just not what I want to do. And going into people out there, none of you should be settling as well. And going into even the brainwashing stuff. And like I said, I sympathize with victims. I sympathize with people who are going through things, they're not aware of what they're going through. But once you have the information and you are aware of what you're going through, and you now have the tools, magic, i.e., magic, you now have the tools, i.e., your own spiritual ancestors, working with your own ancestors, your own spirits. Now you have the power to get up out of the slumber that you've been put in for hundreds of years. You don't even realize that each day has been the same day since 1920 motherfucking 8. Now let that sink in. So like I said, when you're dealing with people that are brainwashed and under my control and you're not, it's quite sad. disheartening. It's quite like, oh my God. And then you're putting yourself out there, you're putting information out there, you're helping people, and a little small percent of people don't want that help. A little small people don't even want to do their own research on it. They want to just throw it away and say FUB and this and that and and it's sad. Like I said, I watch videos of people that I know personally, and they could be using their free time working towards their goals. They could be using their free time thinking about how they're going to invest their money, what they're going to do financially, what they're going to do health wise, whatever. And they actually spend all of 2021 doing foo foo shit. Shit that didn't serve them, shit that did not matter. Set up doing TikTok reinventions, doing the audio remakes, and I'm just like, honey, fuck the audio remake, honey. Worry about your relationship. Fuck the audio remake, bitch. Worry about your financial status. Fuck the audio remake, bitch. Worry about what you're gonna be doing the next 2 to 3 years. That's what you should be worrying about. So, anywho, that's all I wanted to stop by and talk to you guys about today. I thank you so much for your love and your support. Thank you for those of you who sent me emails checking in on me, worrying about me and say, oh my God, Mystic, what's going on with you? I appreciate you. To those of you who the first email you sent me was about you, not hey, how you doing, what's going on, etc., etc. You're just a prime example of how a lot of people are out here trying to leech off energy. A lot of people out here trying to distract people. A lot of people are under brainwashing, menticide, re-education. And unfortunately, like I said, if you are claiming to be a spiritual person and you fall under that category, honey, you need to either wake up or you need to step back. Those are the two options. Wake up or step all the way back. Because, like I said, we're not dealing with that 2022 and beyond. There's so much energy being put out there. Like I said, a portal just closed. There's more to come. There's a major, major one coming within the next, I want to say, 11 days. And like I said, I'll do another video on that. So either way, thank you so much for your love and your support. To spiritmystic.blogspot.com, to spirit8mystic8@gmail.com. And thank y'all. I hope you guys have a good day and a good weekend. Until the next time we talk, love and light.